All right. Welcome to another painting with Derek Wilson. Okay, here's what we got going today. I'm gonna mix up a little color here. Sorry that we started out just painting, but the first part of my video wasn't working. So now I'm gonna have to just kind of jump in. Anyway, the underpainting was all done in acrylics, and I'm gonna finish it up with water soluble oils. So what I'm doing now is what I have on my palette is titanium white, little yellow, um, burnt umber, ultramarine blue, black. And I think that's all I've got on there right now. And what I'm doing is I'm just fixing some of that brown, yellow, white, kind of making an ochre. These are going to be, what are they, wing-tailed teal? I think that's what these are going to be. But I'm just going to go through this, and it's going to be fairly quick video. Even though the painting took me about 3.5, 4 hours, I did a lot of editing to get it down. So I'm just going to be painting along here. And mostly I'll just kind of show you the painting and not really going through what it is and step by step. We will do a little bit of it, but more just kind of enjoy the painting of this little duck scene. I thought it was kind of fun to paint, and we'll go through some things. But right now I'm just kind of adding color, getting it getting it ready, getting kind of where some of the darks and the lights, and we'll start putting more detail in later. And just a little bit of brown, a little black. We're just kind of putting these little spots in. So just kind of sit back, kind of watch. We're just putting them in randomly, no rhyme or reason. Yeah, but using my maul stick, just kind of get a little bit more steady. Just gonna kind of put some more back in here, just randomly. Just add a little more highlights. Like I said, this took several hours, so I kind of cut a lot of it out. Now here I'm going to add this little white strip that are on these teal. And I just went into pure titanium white. I think I added a little touch of yellow in there, maybe just a little bit of blue. Just taking it around, still using my maul stick. As you can see also, there's a little bit of reflection in the water. That base coat was done in acrylic, and then we'll really start touching it up with oils here in a little bit. Just adding a few details, just a indication where there's some wings back there, but not putting in a lot of detail. And I'll come back in a little while and highlight that. Now we're adding just a little bit of shadow down there, just a little bit of the black, a little bit of the burnt umber, maybe a little touch of the blue. Now I'm not sure if I had black at that time. I don't think. I think it was just burnt umber with a little bit of that ultramarine blue. As you can see, we're just kind of highlighting a little bit more, making that a little bit stick out just a little bit more. Really enjoyed this painting. Again, took quite a while, but I guess I say quite a while. It took me about 3.5 hours, maybe with doing the acrylic. It might have been closer to 4. As you can see, I'm just going through and trying to find some highlights. But again, we took this video from, again, 3.5, 4 hours. 3.5 hours, I think I had of tape. And I got it down to, I believe, 27, 28 minutes, something like that. Now I'm starting to put a little bit of that water, using a little bit of the ultramarine blue, a little white, kind of toned it down a little bit. Now we're just kind of putting the indication of some water, some ripples. And I kind of go back and forth with a little bit of white, toned down just a little bit with the ultramarine blue. And I'm kind of putting that white spot in their head into the reflection. Going back, adding a little bit more, kind of jumping back and forth from that white color to the blue color to almost a grayish blue. Just starting to highlight along where that body meets the water. All right. Now let's just keep putting some in there. This is where you start making your painting really pop. The more detail you have in there, and we'll even add more later. We'll get to the grasses too, and make them reflections a little more pronounced. And here we'll kind of put some of these grasses in, whatever you want to call them. And I think it's just a burnt umber, a little bit of black, probably a little bit of the ultramarine blue, and thinned it down a little bit, just a little bit, so it'll start to flow. Now I did go for the water with some oils, but I had about a week or so between times I could paint, so it was pretty dry when I came back in. So I didn't really have to thin the water down, thin the paint down a lot to get it to stick, but I did a little bit. It's starting to dry there on me a little bit. As you can see here, I just started painting again, so it probably had a few days. So we had a little different angle on the paint, on the canvas, and I kind of hung the paints up there so we could see them a little bit more. You see a lot of paint on there now, but I think I was painting another painting too, so I was just using the same paint because it was still good. Just a little bit more of that detail in the water, along with a little bit more of the darker, probably burnt umber, a little of the blue, just to give it kind of that reflection of the ducks. And the female duck back there, she won't have a lot of color. Just working in a little bit more of the water, give it a little more detail. The reflections off of the grasses. And we're going to put a few more grasses in and highlight those, but I think it's really starting to come along. Just kind of seep that duck there into the water a little bit. And again, we'll add some more bubbles in the water here in a little bit, kind of make the water come to life. And at this point here, I've went over to my comber brush and just using that to put the indication of some water and some ripples. Just going back and forth in my colors. A little darker colors, a little lighter. Starting to seep that female duck in the water a little bit. A few ripples. As I said, I was really pleased how this painting turned out. When you're doing something like this, a painting like this, just take your time. Just get as much detail as you can in there. I'm just going to use in my hand here. I think there was a couple of times I stuck my hand in the water. I'm so used to painting with acrylic that after a few minutes it's dry. Well, oils aren't like that, and then you stick your hand there and yeah, your hand comes away with paint on it, so be careful there. Just adding a little bit more of detail onto the female duck. A little more of a grayish, bluish gray tint in the head. Some of these teals have a little grayer, on the grayer side in the head. So that's what I'm doing here a little bit. Okay, mixing in a little of that gray color. Come up in here, maybe add a little yellow, a little brown, kind of a grayish brown. I guess if that's a color, add a little white to it. We're just going to start highlighting some of these grasses. We'll put more highlights in here in a little bit. You see the magic of fast forwarding? We went right from one or two highlighted to a bunch of them. This is a good time too. You can practice with that liner brush and just doing your grasses. Darkening up the color just a little bit. Again, on my grasses, I kind of like the water. I go back and forth in colors. And we're gonna bring some of these grasses down in front. I'll kind of push those ducks back just a little bit. Give it a little more 3-dimension. I'm just starting out here with a black and brown. Thin the paint just a little bit so it'll flow. If you feel that paint starting to drag, then it needs to be thinned a little bit more. Okay, let's go ahead and finish up this little painting. Let me move my mic there. All right, let's just finish this up. I got a little bit of the titanium white, burnt umber, got a little bit of ultramarine blue, a little Mars black, cadmium yellow, and I got some, what is that new stuff? It's a yellowish green. Never used it. It's almost like a really, I can't even think of what color, but it's a really light green, but I think I can mix it around and get some neat colors to highlight some of the grasses we're going to finish up with. So anyway, I've got my little mini, I call it my little mini filbert. I kind of like using that little mini filbert. All right, we'll come right up in here to some of this burnt umber. Be just a touch of that blue. Let's get a little bit on the blue side there. And then this, I let it set a few days so it's dry. All right, I'm gonna get some of that a little darker back there. Might add a little bit more black to it. Just trying to get this around here. May have to use a little finer brush, but I don't know. Just want to get that kind of highlighted there. Kind of coming down into here on this female. Okay. There we go. I like that. Then I think on him over here, I want a little, that brown. Yeah, just a touch of white, just to, because a lot of them, they have kind of a grayish purple on the head. I'm not sure if I'll like it, but I'm gonna try it. I can always change the color if I don't like it. Some shadow coming around. Something like that. I want a little bit. Seems like it should be just a little darker. Right in here. Really kind of make that pop a little bit more. It just feels like it should be a lot darker. Something like that. There we go. And we can come in here and put a little more high, a little blue. Maybe a little, dress up some of that water a little bit. Maybe get some bubbles. I don't really have any water to look at, so it's kind of hard for me to see where there might be. I'm just kind of guessing. Just kind of guessing here a little bit. I think we'll just leave it just like that for now. All right. Might take just a little bit of that and put in here, just kind of like I'm breaking up around the duck on the, just a little bit. Just like the duck might have been moving a little bit on that. Just a brand or something, I don't know. But anyway, so I'm going to come up in here. Oh, first thing I want to do, so I'm going to go a little bit of that quick drying medium. Not really so it dries too much quicker. I just want to be able to kind of thin my paint down just a little bit. I'm going to bring that kind of over here. Might bring some right there. And let me grab some of this green. Probably grab a little bit of the blue. More of that green. Let me just load the brush kind of back and forth. All right, there we go. Might bring some of that white over into it. I think I'm gonna clean my brush here real good, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into that. Grab me some of that white, and then like right here, we're gonna make that. See, like that. Okay. We might see just a few little stragglers. I don't want to do a lot back here because I don't want that to take away my painting up front. I want the eye to kind of, but it does need to look like it does. There we go. Now I think we're going to just keep that just like that. I think we're about to call that one done. I'm just going to put just a touch of that. I don't know if it shows up on there, but I can see it here. Okay. Like I said, I just don't want a whole lot on my these branches here, but it just seems like a couple of them need to be highlighted just a hair more. Just a few. There we go. Kind of pronounce him just a little bit more. See, and that's just, I'm just using burnt umber. There we go. I think that's good enough. I think we're going to call that one done. Hope you enjoyed it. Cleaning out my brush real good. But I hope you really enjoyed it. Hope you followed along. Had a lot of fun doing it. Took a little bit of time, but anyway, I think it turned out pretty good. I'll get it in a frame and kind of see what it looks like. But thank you guys for following along, watching with me. Can't wait till the next one. I'm going to start doing some other series, some more impressionistic series. So anyway, thanks for watching, painting, watching me paint. It was fun. Hope to see you on the next one real soon. And anyway, it's Sunday, Super Bowl Sunday. I'll try to get this this out there. This is my Super Bowl Sunday painting. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, have a great day. Have a great week. Stay safe, and we'll see you on the next one.